Okay, so good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Bids and Awards Committee of the DPWH Batangas First DEO, I would like to welcome all participants in today's privy conference. So the members of the bank secretariat, presenters from the representative from the planning and design section, and our prospective leader. Welcome po. So this conference is being conducted pursuant to the provisions of RA 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, including its implementing rules and regulations, particularly Section 51. So may I request everyone to please rise for the invitation to be led by Ma'am Regine.
Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us today for this very conference. Grant us wisdom, fairness, and integrity as we discuss and resolve the matters before. May this meeting be guided by transparency, professionalism, and mutual respect. Bless all participants with clarity of mind and good intentions for the success of this entity. Amen.
Now take your seats, the technology. Right, the Secretariat will now proceed with the roll call of attendees.
Good morning po sa ating lahat. For the roll call of attendees for today's private conference for 6 infrastructure projects, we start with the DPWH member, Engineer Alvin Cruz Magfino. For our BAC Secretariat member, Ms. Renjin M. Umari. The head of the BAC Secretariat, Versurio, Cyrus Waldo Chordisilla. For our presenter from Planning and Design section, let's start with Ms. Aileen Grace Sanchez, Ms. Judy Beatriz and Olaso, Ms. Maria Lourdes Mga Diman, and Sir Adrian Aldwin Enriquez. For our back member, Ms. Julie Margaret Iruga Blanca.
Yes, good morning.
Another back member, Mr. Gilbert and Valdria. Present. Our back vice chairperson live by via Zoom, Ms. Engineer Christine Joy Alonte. Morning, ma'am. Our back chairperson, Engineer Ando Fernandez Marquez.
Morning.
And let's also acknowledge the presence of the prospective leader from NB Avila Construction, Engineer Eduardo A. Bulanon Jr. Good morning. That's all, sir, for today.
Thank you, Engineer Cyrus, the head of the Secretariat. So the purpose of this private conference is to give opportunity to our prospective leader or leaders to seek clarification, raise questions, and ask matters regarding or relative to the bidding documents. So any clarification or amendment discussed during this conference shall be reflected through the issuance of supplemental or bid bulletin. So may I also remind our prospective bidder or bidders that only issues raised in writing shall be officially addressed by the bank. So, okay, let's proceed with the yes, please, Agenda. Okay, for the agenda, we have the following. First will be the presentation of project plans and scope of works. Next will be the discussion on the general information, and last will be the question from leaders or observers. Next slide. For our first project, we have 26 DP 0021 is for the Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, VIP, Multi-Purpose Building Facility to Support Services, Construction of Multi-Purpose Building, Maugat Elementary School, Nasugbu, Batangas, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration of 150 calendar days. Source of fund, JA 2026. Size range, small b. License category C and D, and cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. Okay, to present the plans report, Ma'am Des, please proceed. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. I am Engineer Maria Lourdes Mangaliman, and today I will be presenting our first project entitled Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings Facilities, to support services, construction of multipurpose building, Maugat Elementary School in Nasugbu, Batangas, under the project type, construction of multipurpose building, with an appropriation of 5 million and an ABC of 4,950,000 and the project duration of 150 calendar days. So as you can see, here is our site location in Maugat Elementary School in Nasugbu, Batangas. Here's the actual site condition of our project in Nasugbu, Batangas, Maugat Elementary School. And here's the perspective of our one-story, two-classroom project. And the following is the scope of work of our project. For our BOQ, Part A, facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer, provision of progress photographs. Then Part B, we have the permits and clearances, project billboards, signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization, demobilization. For Part C, earthworks, we have the structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway structure excavation, common soil, embankment from borough, common soil, and gravel pit. For our Part D, reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete 3,000 PSI, Class A 28 base. Reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, reinforcing steel deformed grade 60, formworks and false works. And for our Part E, finishing and other civil works, we have sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, septic bulk tank, concrete CHB, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, cement board on metal frame ceiling, and carpentry and joinery works. We also have finishing hardware, window accessory, aluminum glass windows, sliding type, awning type, and bricks type. We have also wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessory, and gutters. We also have pre-painted metal sheets above corrugated long span. We also have waterproofing, cement base liquid. We also have glazed tiles and trims on glazed tiles and plain cement floor finish. We also have cement plaster finish, painting works, masonry concrete, painting works on wood and steel. For the next one, we have 100 mm and 150 mm CHP non-load bearing. We also have metal structure accessories, turnbuckle, cross bracings, and steel plates. We also have structural steel trusses, purlins, and railing. For our Part F, we have electrical, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel boards with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Lastly, for our Part G, mechanical, we have also wall fans, exhaust fans, and fire extinguishers. Next, for our plan, so as mentioned a while ago, here's the perspective of our one-story, two-classroom building. Here's the location map and the site development plan. Here's the billboard. In this page, we can see the floor plan, elevation. We also have the section and the schedule of doors and windows. We also have here the blackboard elevation, details of the chalkboard, blackboard, and detailed section of toilet and the toilet plan. We also have the plan of our ramp and bench. Next, we have the ceiling plan and the roof plan. We also have here the spot detail of handrail and detail of steps. So for our structural, we have the framing plan, the detail of the columns and the stiffener, the details of our footing tie beams and wall footings, as well as the stairs, and our roof framing plan, as well as the detail of trusses. We also have the detail of the roof beams and beams. We also have the detailed connection of the cross bracing and the detail of purlin splice, as well as the connection of purlins to top cord. And for our electrical, here's our lighting layout, power layout, and the riser diagram. And for our plumbing, we have the water supply layout, septic tank details, sanitary layout, and lastly, for our plumbing notes, and that's all for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Maria Rodriguez. Next, okay, for our next project, we have that is TP0022, Convergence and Special Support Program Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Building Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Balokbalok Elementary School, Nasugbu, Batangas, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration of 150 calendar days, source of fund JA 2026, size range small b, license category CND, and for the cost of bidding document, 5,000 pesos. We get to present the plans scope of work, Maria Lourdes. Ma'am, please proceed.
Again, for our second project entitled Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Balokbalok Elementary School in Nasugbu, Batangas, under also the project type of Construction of Multipurpose Building with the same appropriation, 5 million and ADC of calendar days. Here's the site location in Balokbalok Elementary School in Nasugbu, Batangas. And here's the actual site condition in Nasugbu, Batangas. And it's mentioned the perspective of our one-story, two-classroom building. And the following is the scope of work. So basically, ang naging difference lang po sa nauna pong pinresent is that meron po tayo naging hand wash dito po sa Balokbalok Elementary. May additional po na one hand wash sa Balokbalok Elementary. And other than that, same po. That's all po. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next project. This for 2063-0023. Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Building Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court, Nasugbu, National High School, Nasugbu, Batangas, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000, contract duration of 150 calendar days, Person Fund JA 2026, size range small b, license category CND, and for the cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. Okay, to present the plan of work, we have Eileen. Yes, ma'am.
Morning, everyone. I'm Engineer Eileen Grace Sanchez. Multipurpose buildings, facilities to support services, construction of multipurpose building, covered court in Nasugbu National High School, Nasugbu, Batangas. With the project type of construction of multipurpose building, approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 and a project duration of 150 calendar days. Here is the site project location. It is located in Barangay 3, Nasugbu, Batangas. Here is the site development plan. And next is our perspective. For the scope of works, the following are the scope of works for our project. For our bills of quantities, we have Part A, provision of field office for engineers, and provision of progress photograph. For the next one, we have permits and clearances, project billboards and signboards, occupational safety and health, and mobilization and demobilization. For our next one, we have clearing and grubbing, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadways, structure excavation and common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel fields. For our next one, we have structural concrete, 3,000 PSI and 4,000 PSI. We also have reinforcing steel, grade 40 and grade 60, and formworks and false work. For our next part, we have fabricated metal roofing accessories, flashing, and gutters. We also have pre-painted metal sheets, drape type long span, plain cement floor finish, and painting works for concrete. We also have painting works for steel. We also have metal lat and accessories, metal structure accessories, turnbuckle, and cross bracing. We also have steel plates, structural steel, and structural steel purlin. For our part F, electrical, we have conduit boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main branch and breakers, and lighting fixtures. Here, as shown po the perspective, the site development plan, and the location po. Next one, we have the signboards and billboards, and the scope, summary of quantity. Next one, we have the floor plan and side elevations and front elevation. We have the painted court lines and the roof plan. As shown po is the foundation plan, the details of the grade beam, the strut, and the column and footing. Next one naman po is the details of the struts and also artra. For this one po, we have the spot details for the connection of eaves, sagrad connections, and the detail of hanger, board, and ring assembly. For our last one po, we have the electrical layout and the riser diagram. That's all po. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Hailey. Okay, next project for 26 Convergence and Special Support Program Basic Infrastructure Program VIP, Multi-Purpose Building Facilities, Support Services, Construction Multi-Purpose Building at Barangay Rillo, Batangas with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration 150 calendar days. First of one, JA 2026, size range, small B, license category CND, and cost of building document, 5,000 pesos. Okay, to present the landscape of work, we have Sir Adrian Alvin. Yes, sir, please proceed. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Engineer Adrian. Yes, and I'm here to present the project titled Convergence and Special Support Program Basic Infrastructure Program VIP. Multi-purpose building facilities to support services, construction of multi-purpose building at Barangay Rillo, Batangas, with a project type of construction of multi-purpose building and an approved budget of 4,950,000 and a 150 calendar days. So here is the location map for the project and as well as the site development. And here you can see the perspective for the following scope of works. So for DOQ, we have the Part A, provision of field office for the engineer, provision of progress photographs. For Part B, we have the permits and clearances, project billboard, signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization, demobilization,
For part C, structure excavation for common soil, embankment from roadway structure excavation, common soil, gravel fill. For part D, we have the structural concrete, 3,000 PSI and 4,000 PSI, class A 28 days, reinforcing steel grade 40 and grade 60 to form. For part B, steel, formworks and cold works. Next is the part E, finishing and other civil works. First, we have the sewer line works. Next is the storm drainage and downspout and the plumbing fixtures. Cold water lines, the fiber cement board on metal frame ceiling, carpentry and joinery works, finishing hardware, aluminum glass window sliding type, the awning type, and the fixed type, the frame, flush door, doors, wood panel, the fabricated metal roofing for flashings, gutters, long span, rib type, waterproofing cement base, glazed tiles and frame, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works for masonry, wood, and steel, 100 mm HB non-load bearing, and 150 mm HB non-load bearing, metal structure accessories for steel plate, structural steel, and structural steel purlins. For part F, electrical, we have conduit boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main branch breakers, lighting fixture. Next, for the plans, we have here the perspective, the location map, and the site development plan. The project billboard, as well as the summary of quantities, the floor plan, second floor plan, and as well as the elevations. The detail for ramp, detail for comfort room, schedule of doors and windows, the stair detail for the roof plan, and the reflected ceiling plan. The construction notes, the structural, specifically the foundation plan, the first floor framing plan and second floor, the detail of beams, columns, and as well the detail of walls and the roof framing plan. Next is the lighting layout for first and second floor and the power layout as well. And the provision for aircon unit. Here is the sanitary layout for water supply. And here is the plumbing.
Thank you, Engineer Adrian. Next is 2060B0025. Convergence Special Support Program Basic Infrastructure Program BIP, multi-purpose building facilities to support services, construction of multi-purpose building, covered court, Barangay, Bundukan, Nasugbu, Batangas, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration, 150 calendar days, source of fund, GAA 2026, size range, small b, license category C and D, and cost of bidding document 5,000 pesos. Ready to give us, to discuss the scope of work again, yan, Ma'am Eileen.
Morning po again. I am Engineer Hai and I will be discussing this project. Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court at Barangay Bundukan, Nasugbu, Batangas. With the project type of Construction of Multipurpose Building, approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 and 150 calendar days. For the project location, as you can see here, is the project location at Barangay Bundukan, Nasugbu, Batangas. Here is the site development plan and the perspective. Basically for the scope of works from the difference of the scope of works from the first covered court po is that this one po is walang gutters and flashings. Also meron po tayong 150 mm CHB laying for the embankment po. Yun, and the rest of them po for sa inyo. Yan po. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, let's proceed with the test project. This is for 26DB0026. Organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system. Asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, secondary roads, Balokbalok, Barangay Road. Kilometer 0123 plus 100 to kilometer 0123 plus 350. Kilometer 0123 plus 525 to kilometer 0124 plus 200. With an approved budget for the contract of 56,388,220 pesos. Contract duration 123 calendar days. Source of fund JA 2026. Price range median A. License category B. And cost of bidding document 50,000 pesos. Okay, to present the plans scope of work, we have Ma'am Julie Beatriz.
Good morning po to everyone. I am Engineer Julie Beatriz Olaso and I am here to present the project entitled Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Preventive Maintenance, Secondary Roads, Balokbalok, Batangas Road, Kilometer 0123 plus 100 to Kilometer 123 plus 350, and Kilometer 123 plus 525 to Kilometer 124 plus 200. The project type of asphalt overlay and an approved budget of the contract, 56,388,220 pesos, and the project duration of 123 calendar days. So here's our project location located in Lemery, Batangas. For our scope of work, we have the asphalt overlay, removal and replacement of existing asphalt pavement for correction and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. So for our bill of quantities, we have our part A, provision of field office for the engineer rental basis, provision of furnitures and or fixtures, equipment and appliances for the field office for the engineer, provision of field office staff for the assistance to the engineer, and provision of progress photograph. And for our part B, we have the project billboard and signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management and mobilization and demobilization. For our part C, we have removal of actual structures obstruction, 0.05 meters thick and 0.10 meters thick. Surplus common excavation and subgrade preparation common material. For our part B, we have the Portland Cement Stabilized Road Mix Base Course new soil aggregate. For our part E, we have the bituminous prime coat MC cutback asphalt grade 70 emulsified asphalt, bituminous concrete surface wearing and binder course 50 mm hot laid. And for our part H, we have the reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings one. So for our plans, here's our index of drawings and symbols. The project site, the location map, and vicinity map. Our materials and disposal map. General notes and the summary of quantities. Our standard project billboard. Our roadway section as well as the detail A, B, and C. Here's our straight line diagram and the plan and profile. The details of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings as well as the schedule of the quantity. The typical road for traffic management system. And here's our cross section for every 20 meters. That's all po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Bea. Okay, so to give us the general information and other instructions related to the pyramid at hand, we have Chief Jobert Balria sa back regular member.
Good morning, everyone. So for the general information, bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship, cooperatives, and partnerships or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. Next, a complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders until before 10 a.m. of July 14, 2026 from the Procurement Unit Office, DPWH Batangas First DEO, and upon payment of the applicable fee. Bidding documents may also be downloaded free of charge from the PhilDeps and DPWH websites, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents before the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the Back Secretariat through first manual submission to the Procurement Unit Office, DPWH Batangas First DEO, or online electronic submission through the electronic bids _Batangas1 at dpwh.gov.ph on or before July 14, 2026 at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in ITD Clause 16. The bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the first technical and second financial components of its bid written in indelible ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representatives. Note, all envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters. It should bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed the procuring entity's back, bear the specific contract identification of this bidding process, and bear a warning, do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids. The bidder shall enclose their original eligibility and technical documents in one sealed envelope marked original technical component and the original of their financial component in another sealed envelope marked original financial component, sealing them all in outer envelope marked original bid. Each copy of the first and second envelopes shall be similarly sealed, duly marking the inner envelopes as copy number, technical component, and copy number, financial component, and the outer envelope as copy number. Note, these envelopes containing the original and copy shall then be enclosed in one single envelope. The bid documents, technical and financial proposal, must be book-bounded of fastened at the left side with ear tags and A4 size of bond paper, font size 10 or up in 70 to 100% scale, with documentary stamps and paginated as per DEO number 60 series of 2002. Bid opening is on July 14, 2026 at 10 a.m. at the back conference room, DPWH Batangas First DEO, and bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. Contractors who wish to participate in the bidding are encouraged to enroll DPWH Civil Works application at the DPWH Procurement Service, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. If during post-qualification process, BAC verifies any deficiency due to contractor's fault or negligence pursuant to Section 63.2 of the IRR of RA 12009, the procuring entity will disqualify the contractor from award without any right or reimbursement of fees. Additional projects requirements as mandatory submission of the following under ITB 12.1. First, latest general information sheet reflecting beneficial ownership information duly received by the SEC for corporations. ISO 9001 2015 certification or the latest applicable version. The relevant conditions or regulations are activated for projects that are valued at 30 million or more. The DPWH reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidders. For contractors with an official representative, they are required to secure a special power of attorney for single proprietorship, while for corporation or incorporated, they are required to present a secretary's certificate together with their latest board resolution. You may visit the following website for downloading of bidding documents at www.dpwh.gov.ph and www.fieldjets.gov.ph. And for electronic submission of bid, electronic bids_Batangas1 at dpwh.gov.ph. For further information, please refer to Engineer Andrew Fernandez Marquez, back chairperson at DPWH Batangas First DEO 043-703-0004 and back secretariat with the same address and phone number. Deadline of submission of bids, July 14, 2026, on or before 10 a.m. Opening of bids, July 14, 2026 at 10 a.m. Address, back conference room, DPWH Batangas First DEO, Barangay Lanatan, Balayan, Batangas. Office contact number 043-703-0004 and office email address back_Batangas1 at dpwh.gov.ph.
Thank you, Chief Gilbert Valdez, our back regular member. So we shall now open the floor for question from leaders or leaders. Yes, sir.
Contractor A, B, and C. Contractor C, yung lowest bidder, regardless may discount or not. Tapos may discount pa sa ayun ng C. Ano yung consider mo? Ayun yung
Part 2 siya ng financial document. Is there any other question? So if there are no further questions or matter to discuss, this public conference for these projects is hereby adjourned at exactly 11:24 in the morning. Thank you for saying that, and have a good day.